Tiara Ariel here, highly sensitive person and empath. I'm also a wellness coach for highly sensitive people, and I am the HSP Spirit Guide on Instagram. You can take this reading as a message from your gods, your guides, the universe. If that's not for you, then you can simply see this as a self-improvement prompt for this week. My readings are meant to be support and guidance for highly sensitive people. They're not by any means meant to predict the future or tell you what to do. You should always trust your gut and what's best for you. I encourage you to take what resonates with you and leave the rest, because this reading might be for you or it might not be for you. So if you have any questions on what I've said or need clarification, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, let's get to the reading. Hello everyone, this is the reading for the last week of June. Alright, here we go. So these three cards came out together, so I'm going to use all of them. Love, romance, relationships, affection, commitment, acceptance, compassion. Sun, joy, vibrance, warmth, fun, good days ahead. Garden, self-care, recharge, and nurture. I'm feeling like this might be about pointing your awareness towards your relationship with yourself and your own self-care, and that maybe that would be your focus over the next week. Maybe even meditating in the sun. I'm going to pull out some more cards here. Now I'm seeing someone sitting in the sun near water, and there's water in this image here underneath her. It's almost like her reflection that she's thinking of, so like reflecting on her own relationship with herself. Ooh, switchbacks. Back and forth, seeming to repeat lessons but making progress with each cycle, upgrading. So maybe you're feeling frustrated or stuck right now with your own progress and your own healing and your own relationship with yourself, really hoping for those good days ahead. That you might be feeling like you've been repeating this lesson over and over again. But I think that this is saying it feels like there's an end to a cycle soon. And that's what this is speaking of, is there's good days ahead. Still feeling like it's good to sit with yourself, focus on your relationship with yourself, especially if you're trying to manifest romance or acceptance or compassion, all of those things, to meditate on giving those things to yourself. And then I think some repetitive lessons might become clear of why you keep repeating the same cycles. Map, overview, strategy, expert advice, logic. Try to get a bigger picture of what it is that you've been repeating. Why have you been repeating these lessons? Why do you feel stuck? Where do you think this is coming from? Like, get quiet with yourself. And if you're focusing on relationships with other people, then I'm getting that you need to reflect on your own relationship with yourself and maybe where those frustrations are coming from with other people. You can almost always find something in yourself that needs healing when you're frustrated with someone else. Limits. Reevaluate, take a step back, know your own limits, replenish drained energy. So if you're feeling like you're being drained by other people or disappointments in relationships, I'm seeing that this is now the time to reflect on your own relationship with yourself. Where can you prioritize yourself more and set up stronger boundaries? Replenish your own energy versus trying to find what you need in someone else. So now I'm seeing this person get up from where they were sitting near the water, near the sun, and like getting up and turning around and going home. Almost kind of like they're giving up. But in a way it seems like they are realizing that what they need, what they want, is something that they can give themselves. So instead of waiting for something to show up where they were sitting, they're just going to go home and give it to themselves. And healing that relationship with yourself and giving yourself what you need from a relationship is what sort of shifts the energy of you feeling like you're deserving of receiving it because you're giving it to yourself. And in turn, that opens up sort of that channel to receive it then from others, from different relationships and scenarios. You really need to make that commitment to yourself, to your own self-care. And not saying that, you can't have healthy relationships with other people, but if you're feeling frustrated about being disappointed in relationships, like if that feeling resonates with you, then I think a really good thing to do is just spend some time with yourself and figure out what you need to do to give that to yourself. This card just came out: retreat, destimulate, breathe out, darkness. So maybe this might be scary for some of you to face some of these things that you feel like you can't give to yourself, but retreating back home to yourself and giving yourself what you need is actually very nurturing. So for highly sensitive people, when you need to destimulate is a time that you've been overstimulated and need to address your own self-care. Kind of retreat under the covers, go do something for yourself, by yourself, that's for you, that gives you what you need, that lets you sort of let go of stressors and breathe out, reevaluate, step back. And by doing that, even if you're feeling sort of like resisting it because it doesn't feel as good or it doesn't seem as good to be giving things to yourself versus expecting it from someone else, that shift in energy is what is going to manifest healthier relationships with people who will give you that affection, who will give you that romance, who will give you that acceptance. And that's what this is pointing towards, is once you make that shift, that's when you're going to feel the fun, the good days ahead, the warmth, the joy. And it might seem like you're repeating cycles here and that you've already learned this lesson or you've already engaged with this kind of cycle, but the word of wisdom in here is that each time you go through this healing cycle of repeating this lesson or looking at it deeper, you're going through another layer and healing it even further. And so each time you go around with this lesson, you're upgrading each time. It's like an upward spiral. See how these switchbacks, you start at the bottom and it kind of feels zigzaggy and eventually you get up to the top, even if it feels like you're going back and forth for a while. So just keep that in mind if you're feeling frustrated by this, that you've already went around and done this rodeo before. And I feel like I'm going to pull one more card, even though there's already a lot out here. I feel like someone else needs a little bit of encouragement or something. There's one more message in here. Stillness, observation, meditation, digestion, calm. For some of you, you might actually need to look at your digestion. But otherwise, just try to stay calm, observe, meditate. Use this time to look inward, to be on your own, to stay calm, breathe, relax. Okay, this card literally just slid out of the deck. Dusk, endings, winding down. So this might seem like a difficult time where the sun is setting and you're going into this darkness, this dark period of retreating. But you always have to remember that when the sun sets, it will come up again. Right? The sun doesn't set and then just disappear and you're in eternal darkness. There's a time for endings and there's a time for beginnings. There's a time for winding down and there's a time for getting motivated and getting up. So it's okay to use this time to sit, to recharge, to relax, to reflect on your own relationship with yourself, to give yourself what it is that you feel like you need from other people. And just destimulate, Take some deep breaths. Give yourself what it is that you feel like you've been needing from the universe even. Give yourself reassurance. Give yourself acceptance. Give yourself a reason to trust, even if you don't feel like there is one yet. Alright, I'm feeling like that's it for now. So I hope that helps some of you if you're feeling like you're in that kind of a space right now, to just keep your chin up and love yourself right now. Just do whatever it is that you need to do. And try not to get disappointed because everything has its cycle, right? So if you're in the dusk period right now, there's going to be a dawn. It's just the laws of life. Alright, we'll see you next time. Also just want to show you, put the deck down. This was on the bottom of the deck.